Mel Torme's
Don't
going
let
to be here
Jesse
tomorrow.
Gomez know that.
All right, if you plan to venture into the mountains while it's still summer, you should first take time to learn some important techniques that could save your life. Survival expert Preston Westmoreland joins us now from Granada Hills with some life-saving tips. Good morning, Preston.
How you doing, Carlos? Good to be on today.
Well, I'm doing better than I was when I was up in the Sierras because I didn't take very much advice.
Here,
How you doing?
I know you guys are survival experts. You and Barbara carry water and toolkits and everything you need, but for the other people, we got some good advice today.
Well, we've survived working in the mornings for 3.5 years.
That's my next video, morning survival.
Now, you know, let's go through some of the basics. We often talk about people who get stranded or lost in the back country, and really they're not ready for being lost. And it's amazing to me that people don't carry water and don't do some basic things. What are the kinds of things that we should be doing?
Carlos, actually, it's amazing. People don't even figure on ever getting busted or stuck anywhere. You know, we're pilots, and we're always taught to anticipate the worst thing that can happen. Yet people base their whole survival on a car starter and a battery. And how many times have you been out on some road, come on over here, exploring some of the areas, and you go and get in your car, and it might not start. Suddenly, you're thrust back to the days of the pioneers. And I'm going to show you some items on your automobile that you could use to save your life. Let's take a look at some things here. Did you know, for example, if you got in cold weather, you can start a fire with a flashlight? Now, here we have real thin steel wool. This is triple-aught. And you hook it to the terminals of the flashlight, and you push it on, and you'll actually get a spark that goes all the way out. And you would put some tinder, you know, real dry tinder like this, right in the middle, and you would get a fire. Here's an easier way to get a fire, is to take a magnesium fire starter. Magnesium is a metal used in a lot of aircraft. I don't know if you can see it flaking off, and then you would just go ahead and spark it, and you get a real easy fire that way. Of course, your problem would have been a lot easier if you had just left a message before you left home about where you were going to be headed. This is kind of a neat item here, Carlos. You ever see an aircraft at night, and you can see where the light is? This is a wingtip strobe that an airplane has on the wing, and you can strap this on, like if you're mountain biking or you need some help, and the searchers can see this at night. The Civil Air Patrol tells you that the best thing to have in your car is a signal mirror. Now, the best kind has a little hole in the middle for aiming, so you can see right where the sun is going as you look through it. But everybody has a signal mirror because they have a rear view mirror on their automobile they could use. And let me show you a real easy compass that you can make. And I don't know if the camera can see this or not, but this is a sewing needle on a leaf. And what you do is you rub that needle with a magnet, and every car has a magnet on the back of a stereo speaker. You float it on water, and it'll align north and south. You can also remember, if you can take a look at this stick down here, any shadow at noon will point north. So that's a good way to orient yourself. You can also tell direction with a watch, and that's kind of a complicated thing, but basically if you hold a watch horizontally and you aim the hour hand at the sun, south is halfway between the hour hand and the 12. Now, this is kind of a neat item over here. Come on over here. I tell everybody to carry a Sunday newspaper with them, and you can read it if you get stuck, but you can also lay out the panels, cover them with rocks, and make signals that an airplane can see. This X, for example, is a universal signal. It means unable to proceed. All the pilots recognize this. It's easier than SOS. Of course, if you had a Sunday LA Times, you could print out a whole sentence. Now, come on over here, and I'll show you a really innovative way to get water. My wife and I carry a lot of plastic bags. You can use them for raincoats and things like this. But not many people realize that you can take a plastic bag and tie it over a tree branch. And you see that there? See how much water we've gathered? And what you're doing is capturing the water the leaves give out through the process of transpiration. So what I teach, Carlos, is just being innovative and improvising whenever you get stuck. For example, if you get stuck in your car in the winter and you're up in the mountains, you can use carpeting from the trunk to wrap around your hands, and that'll prevent frostbite and cold weather problems. You can even take that Sunday newspaper and bundle that around your extremities, too.
Now, water, of course, is what keeps most people alive, obviously, if you're stuck somewhere. But I can't believe in the last 30 seconds you've given me more ideas than I've had in a lifetime of hiking and camping.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Come on over here if we can real quick. This is about a quart of water, and scientific studies have shown that in 120 degrees, 2 quarts of water will keep you alive about 2 days, so it doesn't last long. I say, for Carlos and Barbara, you need a gallon of water for every day you need to survive. You know, just carry a gallon, throw it in the back. Everything you've seen here actually goes in a very small survival pack. Just throw it in your trunk. You never know when you're going to need it. And tell people where you're going. Remember to signal when you're stuck. Don't leave your vehicle, because searchers, when they look down at a walking person in the desert or the mountains, your head looks like a 6-inch rock. Remember when we were kids and we did a snow angel up in the mountains?
Yeah.
Well, searchers have done exercises where if you lay down and do a snow angel, even out here in the mountains, your chances are 60% greater of being spotted by an aircraft than when you're walking. So always stay by your vehicle. They always find that first, and if you've left it, then they have to figure out where Carlos went.
Probably went looking for water somewhere.
And so these are all things that you should keep in the vehicle. The plastic bags, the water.
Compass. A whistle's great for mountain biking, you know, because then if you get stuck out here, just let people know where you are if you fall down a ravine.
And I see that backpack there. All this stuff that you showed us, it would just about fit in there?
Oh, sure, yeah. I got a TV in there, too.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'll tell you, there's some great things, and if, in case you've noticed that Preston is particularly good at teaching us how to survive, it's because he is an expert in this, and he has a video. Now, tell us about your video.
Well, we have a desert survival video that talks about, if I can show you, we got a desert survival video that points out getting water out of cactus, and of course you can get water out of barrel cactus or make a solar still. We talk about rattlesnakes. By the way, a lot of rattlesnakes up here in O'Melveny Park lately. So you need to avoid that, especially early in the morning when they have the... No rattlesnakes there. But a lot of rattlesnakes in the media, as you know, though.
Yeah.
But we've got a mountain survival video that zeroes in on protecting yourself from the cold, dealing with bears, things like that. The desert survival video talks about dealing with the heat, getting water, poisonous creatures,
And where can we get this video, Preston?
Well, we've got it. Let me give you a 1-800 number for information. It's 1-800-582-5802. And then here in the San Fernando Valley, they're available at Sanval Pilot Shop.
Okay, it's 1-800-582...
5802.
582-5802. Okay. Preston, it's great information, and I'll tell you what, I spent some time up in the mountains not too long ago and really became dehydrated because I didn't take in enough water, and you really have to take in a lot of water and be very well prepared. But this is great information you've given us today.
Listen, and remember, don't ration water, conserve it. They have found people in the Arizona desert who died who left a half a canteen behind because they watch all these movies, you know, and they drink a capful a day. And Hollywood has done more to increase the misconceptions we have about the desert region than anybody else. Quicksands, mirages, they love all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, more people die from honeybee stings in the world every year than all poisonous creatures combined. So the real danger out here are the elements, the cold, the heat. That's what you need to prepare for. So think about it at home first. That's where survival begins.